Hello there, I'm Mia, and I've been helping people with their scalp and hair for years. I'm going to tell you about my treasure trove of absolutely invaluable hair tips and tricks that has so far helped me and more than 6,842 others just like you to overcome their dry, itchy, and flaky scalp problems. I've been there, and I know that there's nothing worse than feeling mentally and physically exhausted due to constantly having to deal with the vicious cycle of dry and itchy scalp. Chronic itching, hair loss, hair regrowth, even more itching. I know what it's like to suffer from severe sleep loss because the cycle just keeps on going and going and going without showing any signs of relenting. You then start to wonder if you will ever enjoy a sound sleep ever again. And finally, I know what it's like to suffer from the obvious psychological effect of having dry, itchy scalp. One of the biggest problems is that you end up feeling very self-conscious about your scalp. Just imagine wearing something dark and feeling the need to scratch your scalp, knowing that if you do, you risk of unleashing a mini blizzard all over your shoulders. It's no wonder lots of people, men and women alike, end up with low self-esteem as a result of having this condition. And since you're watching this video, I know that unfortunately, this is your day-to-day reality. So, let me ask you this. Are you sick and tired of living with an itchy scalp? Do you get embarrassed when people point out your dandruff or scalp rash? Do you feel ripped off when you pay too much for anti-dandruff shampoos that don't live up to the hype? Does the itching make you feel insanely uncomfortable and nearly unbearable at times? Worried about thinning or falling hair and wishing for thick, shiny, healthy locks? What if I told you I can make all your pain, embarrassment, and discomfort go away? What if I told you that in just 10 days' time, you too can have healthy, shiny scalp and hair, free of dandruff and itchiness? If you're sick and tired of dealing with the maddening itch and flaky scalp, if you've tried the store-bought conditioners to no avail, if you are ready to take that first step on the road to a healthy scalp, I strongly recommend you watch this video presentation from beginning to end. Hi, I'm Mia Wadsworth here, and I'm a former sufferer of dry, itchy, and flaky scalp, and this is my journey. Let me start by saying that we are all born with the potential to have a glorious head of hair. Our hair and scalp are supposed to be healthy in our natural state. But why is it that so many of us are suffering instead from itchy, flaky, dry scalp and brittle, lackluster hair with straw-like split ends, and sometimes even thinning patches? Not surprisingly, many people suffer self-esteem issues when they suffer from hair and scalp problems. And let me just say that I understand how your self-esteem might plummet, given the situation. But you need to realize that there's a way to reverse your condition. That's actually one of the reasons why I made this video, to deliver a message to you and everyone else suffering from dry and itchy scalp that there is a way to reverse your scalp condition in a safe and natural way. So, if you're feeling that your self-esteem has really taken a hit, don't worry. You could be on the road to recovery in just minutes from now. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Now, before I share with you the secrets of how you can have a healthy head of hair, let me tell you a story of how and why I started researching and learning everything there is to learn about scalp and hair. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a former sufferer of dry and itchy scalp. For 10 long and painful years, I clawed like an animal at my itchy, flaky, dry scalp. Seeing my nasty, weeping scalp sores made me shudder. My best friend and I both suffered from terrible, itchy, weeping scalps for years, and together we purchased and tested dozens of dandruff shampoos and drugstore medications. We were desperate for a solution and willing to try anything, but all we got were temporary results at best. And the nasty truth was, our dry, itchy scalp was only getting worse the more products we tried. My girlfriends loved going to the hair salon, but for me it was humiliating. I was often asked if I had head lice or a nervous itching problem. It didn't matter what the occasion, birthday parties for my kids, going to a movie, even in the dark, or reading a book by myself. I was constantly aware of my dry, itchy scalp. But the one instance where I was really impacted mentally and literally driven to tears was an incident involving my husband and daughter. One morning I was preparing breakfast for my husband and daughter. As usual, my husband asked for his morning coffee, so I went to the kitchen and made him a cup of his favorite brand of coffee. At this point, nothing seemed off or out of the ordinary. That is, until I saw my husband cringing in disgust at the sight of flakes of my scalp floating in his coffee. My daughter laughed at me and called me snowy strawhead, but I was paralyzed with shame to give any kind of reaction. I stood in there shamed as my husband left without saying a word. He didn't have to. The disgusted look on his face said it all. It was the most heartbreaking moment of my entire life, but it was also the turning point for me. I had finally had enough with dry and itchy scalp, and I decided to take my fate into my own hands. I would become my own scalp and hair expert and do everything in my power to come up with some solution, any solution that would get rid of this nasty condition once and for all. And months into my research, a startling discovery changed everything, and it was definitely not what I expected. You see, over the years, I had spent hundreds of dollars on doctor visits, fancy anti-dandruff shampoos, and other treatments in a bottle. I bought books by doctors and studied hard. But none of them worked. The professionals were failing me. I eventually found a book that pointed out that an itchy, irritated scalp is a modern problem. Just 100 years ago, doctors didn't have anything to say about weeping sores on dry scalps. The answer seemed clear. We're doing something different today that people didn't do in the past. The culprit? Chemicals. For many people, chemicals from shampoos and conditioners are the reason for dry scalps, and I had been putting them on my head for years. Let me tell you something about shampoos. Did you know 90% of the off-the-shelf scalp treatments also contain ingredients that cause itchy, dry scalps? It's true. And that's why results from leading shampoo solutions are only temporary and often make it worse. Here's just one example. Sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS. Sounds like just another ingredient, right? Wrong. It's an aggressive cleaning and foaming agent commonly used as an engine degreaser. SLS has been proven to strip oils from and prematurely age your skin, damage eye membranes, retard healing, inhibit hair follicle growth, and more. Yet it's added to 90% of shampoos. So I spent much of my time searching for an answer, and I think the best thing I did was opening my mind to the idea that I needed to make changes. Changes in my diet, and changes in what I applied on my body. I also considered homeopathy and naturopathic methods. To understand a healthy scalp, I needed to understand what caused an unhealthy one. Eventually, my studies and research culminated in my discovery of an all-natural, scientifically proven system to eliminate dry, itchy, and flaky scalp permanently. Essentially, the answers to dry and itchy scalp are natural soothing remedies, and not creating a toxic dump on your head. And I'm going to prove it to you. Give me 10 days of ditching chemicals for natural remedies, and I'll show you what a healthy, shining scalp and hair looks like. After years of suffering from dry scalp, I finally cured myself with all natural remedies. No more dry scalp. My girlfriends were amazed, and my husband loved getting his happy wife back. Word quickly spread that I had found natural remedies for dry scalp and unhealthy hair, and soon I had people asking me for help. The thing is, not everyone's dry scalp has the same causes. The good news is almost every cause has a natural solution, and I've been able to help hundreds of people find the answer. With this website, I'm now able to help thousands. People like Henry J. from Johannesburg, South Africa. It wasn't until I read your ebook that I realized my extremely itchy scalp and dandruff wasn't coming from me and not just something I had to put up with or had to keep treating. It was very liberating to know I could now stop this nasty affliction. Understanding what was really going on enabled me to stop the itching and get rid of my scaly dandruff. My hair is even getting a bit thicker on top. Keep spreading the word. Thanks, Mia. Or Tony S. from Los Angeles, USA. This ebook is packed with valuable information and actual remedies and answers, as opposed to taking more drugs and prescriptions to add more health issues to our lives. Pure and natural long-term remedies and info on actual known causes to the issues we deal with in regards to our health and well-being, rather than a doctor-prescribed unnatural drug-related quick fix and/or temporary relief, which never addresses the real course of the problem. Very well done, easy to read, and well worth every penny. And Trudy Hodgson, California, USA. Mia, I just wanted to let you know I used the fantastic neem remedy in your ebook on our 8-year-old daughter, Maya's itchy scalp. It stopped itching as soon as I applied it, and the rashes cleared up in 3 days. I just want to express my gratitude for your going out of your way to help us. And more. It's time to take control of your dry, itchy scalp and provide the relief you've been searching for. And the answers are inside my affordable ebook. Just imagine, within days of ordering dry, itchy scalp remedies, you could be experiencing a perfectly nourished, healthy, and moisturized scalp. For a mere investment of $30, you can say goodbye to your dry scalp problems once and for all. That means no more itching, no more burning, and the full confidence that you will never again have dandruff. No more searching for that right $30 shampoo. No more months, even years suffering from a dry, itchy, embarrassing scalp. Instead, just get my book and be set free once and for all. And it's much more affordable than you would think. Plus, my book will work for you or it's free. Here's how it works. 60-day cash-back guarantee. If at any time within the next 60 days of purchase, you're not completely satisfied with everything found in this ebook, simply let me know and I'll return your purchase price immediately and in full. No questions asked. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. No hidden clauses, asterisks, or small print. Order today and you'll also get 2 free extra gifts. Free extra number 1. Taming your hair type. At a $19.97 value. Ever get frustrated with your hair? During my hundreds of hours of research, I picked up an amazing collection of tips for taming any hair type. In this report, I'll share which styling products work best for each hair type, from thin and straight to thick, coarse, and wild frizzy. Hairstyles that suit your hair and skin. The secret to a healthy glow. Plus, homemade shampoo boosters, natural hair dyes, and information for sensitive scalps. And much, much more. Free extra number 2. Safe shopping guide. At a $10 value. This handy pocket guide will make shopping for hair and body products quick, easy, and safe. Now you'll have a list of ingredients readily available to compare against bottle labels. An absolute must if you want to avoid irritating chemicals. If you're still with me, then I know you're ready to leave the expensive shampoos, dangerous chemicals, and temporary results behind. It's time for a natural, permanent solution, and I want to help you find it. We can find your personal solution in just minutes after you order dry, itchy scalp remedies for only $30. You deserve to have super healthy scalp and hair, and I want to help you find it. Take action today.